Well, I've been bad. I've been maintaining my razors. Not. So here I am, partway through the week, and running late in the mornings, and I haven't been keeping up with stropping these. So they're not where they should be. So we are going to have to strop these, aren't we? Of course. Now, you of course strop them every time. With a single razor user, you're doing this before you shave. With what I'm doing, which is I have multiple razors, I have 8 days worth of grace. So I get to get lazy and build up razors so that I have to do this. Now, one thing I want to show you right now is there's two types of stropping. There's also multiple types of strops. I have just your plain dirt cheap piece of leather. I also have an actual horsehair or horsehide strop, and that has a canvas strap tied to the back of it. I'll show you that one now in a minute. And then here's the four-sided one. This I use when all else fails, when I've got a new razor. This is 0.3 micron diamond grit, 0.1 micron diamond grit, red oxide, and black oxide. I've since removed these two from my honing. They suck. What I am using right now is green chromium and the 1 micron where needed. The 1 micron I find cuts really, really fast. Oh, and speaking of cut, if you notice, this was my absolute first honing tool. And it has got cuts and nicks and gouges everywhere. Your first strop should not be an expensive strop. Promise, you'll hate yourself. Don't spend a ton. And you don't even need to use leather. You don't need to do something ridiculous like this. This is, I hand turned this. I bonded the leather to this. This is actually a cedar fence post. Handy for home defense if I need it. So, not going to show you this one. It's pretty easy to figure out. And the nice thing about the four-sided and the two-sided pasted strops is they're flat. You don't need to tension them to get them flat. So you're working with a very consistent edge, as long as you don't get carried away and, dig in. Not bad. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I find it convenient to have something hanging on the wall. Now, those of you who have one of these may recognize this. This is an eBay piece of, well, leather. It is leather, I promise. What you want to do is just work a little bit of that chromium on there. And you can just see there's a sheen. You're not trying to paint the thing brilliant green. Oh, in case you're wondering about this highly, highly elaborate attachment system, it's leather shoelace. The reason it's leather shoelace is you can horse on it, there's a bit of bounce to it, it doesn't bind up, and other than that there's really no good reason for it other than I needed something to put on that hook, and there's a leather shoelace. So, this is not your everyday home. This isn't your everyday stropping. This is final stage of honing. But I wanted you to see the process anyway. Now, hot water, warm water, palm it, something, anything. Do not get the edge in your hand. You want to warm it slightly. What this does is it allows the steel to get to the temperature it will be when you are working your face with it. What this does is steel expands and contracts. So what you want, when it's cold, its profile may look like this, but when it's warm, it may actually taper up. So if you hone it cold, and then you try to shave with it after this, you've honed this, and you've kind of done this. When it warms, it becomes paper thin and folds over. It will fold over a little bit anyway in the process of shaving, but what you want is to minimize that with a maximum of sharp. So, always a trade-off, always a trade-off. So, don't send me a ton of comments saying, you're doing it wrong. I'm doing it the way it works for me. This may not work for you. You may need a different system. You may need to do it at a different rate, at a different angle. You might need, I don't know. This works for me. So, hold down and tight. You want a little bit of give, but not much. And you pull up and away. You shouldn't actually hear that cling, but that's what happens when you're doing a video and you're looking in the other direction. So what I'm doing is the back, the spine, this part here actually hits and then roll in. This is opposite to what you do with a stone. With a stone you're pushing the blade into it. Don't do that here, it digs in. Now, you're probably looking at this and going, how did that idiot ever dig in? Well, when you get a little better, you get to be a little faster. And sometimes when you're not paying attention, bad things happen. There is no Olympic competition, there is no gold medal, there is no Guinness Book of World Records entry for fastest stropping of a razor. Don't rush this. Take your time. You're about to put this on your face. Think about that. Slow down, take your time, pay attention. Now, having said that, this doesn't do it. There's a certain amount of speed that you do need to get in. And if you notice, it's not just a straight up and down motion that I'm doing here. It's actually a cross draw. So you're drawing an X basically from here to here and from here to here with the width of the blade. So, now, you've done that. And that would be just after you've honed. So, make sure and be careful. I'm not actually putting my fingers near the blade. Not exactly, anyway. Basically, the cutting surface is pinched, and that's what I just removed. Sorry. Don't transfer this to your daily strop. While there might be some benefit to it, it eats razors. Don't do it. Okay, so, hooray. Oh, one other thing. You've honed, you stropped, don't shave with it. Shave with it 24 hours later, 48 ideally. The steel needs time to relax. And since mine don't go to Club Med, they get to sit around until they're ready. So, it's 48 hours later, welcome back. And if you've honed really well, not only is your razor now nice and spiffy and ready to shave with, sure, it's probably changed color too. So, this is your daily strop. The canvas is optional. This is treated with a chalk-like substance. It's very, very mild. And because this doesn't have that neat handle, I've adapted a little bit. I'm holding it like this, just below the camera. So, and tight. And again, I've warmed this blade in my hand. Don't really get a whole lot of benefit out of canvas strop, but again, out and away. If you hurt yourself, this is your problem. I will assume that you're an adult. If you're playing with one of these and you're a kid, yeah. We're going to pretend everybody's adults here, or at least as close as I ever get. Okay, again, death grip on and down and pull down. Lock it in. And this is a less aggressive X in this case because I am working on a wider strop. Now, there are people that will tell you that you must roll it over like that and then come back down the other way, roll it back. That's awesome. I think that is absolutely the correct way to do it. 100%. It doesn't do it for me. All it does is cramp up my hand. So, what I do, lift, spine, blade, pull. Lift, spine, blade, pull. If you screw it up, it's not quite so bad as if you screw it up when you're honing on a stone. And what you shouldn't see, you're not trying to push this in, okay? You're just trying to skim. Not real hard. And there you go. So now, that should be just ready to shave. If it's not, you're back to honing. If this drags, if this pulls, if this isn't cutting, stop. Something's wrong. Don't push. Don't fight it. All you get is you turn your face to hamburger. Or worse, you turn yourself into a red lawn sprinkler. The only thing red in the bathroom should be your sexy razor. Don't push. Don't fight. And make sure that you've got your face prepped. Keep everything wet. Keep it warm. And you will have, after 20 shaves or so, it's starting to get better. Get a couple of months under your belt, fantastic. So, give it a try.